Awesome DJ, ladies and gentlemen. Come on, you know you might be. I appreciate music. It'd just be conversation if it wasn't for him. That's terrible. So I'm gonna do a quick poem. If that's cool, say cool. Cool. I only need one person to say it for me to feel cool about it. Then I'm gonna hand it up. We got a few poets, and like I said, we're gonna have some music, and we're gonna keep our fun times. Hell yeah! I like this audience already. That's what I'm bringing. I'm gonna do a poem called Horny Ski Mask Demons.
Yeah.
It's about getting yours when you don't have anything else to do. Yeah, get yours. Starts out like this.
I work for a company. He got his before mine.
There's a sick hipster appeal to living in a town this real. There's little here for fun and home is hell for some. You dip out to craft big city lives from the scraps of kings. Shit. The best of us, hired as escape artists at age 18. There's no need to blame the evacuees, they did their time. And only God knows what it means. Most fields in this city were first built up dreams, burnt down rapidly to erase bad memories. The boom times are gone and so is prosperity. The only boom that makes money now involves liquor store robbery and business is good. Behind weed, greed, and exploitation is the backbone of our economy. Heavens forbid someone forgive thee to survive and no one provides hope or a living salary. Unions establish the false sense of security with ease of certain things, like summoning cash by smiling, smug, sawed-off fangs reminds us the devil works in mysterious ways when coping with desperation or hunger pains, or seeking alternatives to the martyrdom of minimum wage. Even with paradise underfoot, inner demons cause generational pain. Maybe instead of being the destitute descendants of opportunity's haze, perhaps horny ski mask demons is a more fitting phrase. Wasn't that what the headlines read? Action news spiced up the verbiage, planting seeds, and in TV times like these, everyone needs a sacrificial savior to disrupt the feed. Or a monk making a stand in gasoline for them to feel ease and take the lead, but that's not me. Fiends seeking another funeral by fire truck should crack a beer and look as Arson City cashes in on bad luck and low self-esteem. Slashed wrists, spewing flames, delayed results of fools falling for a hangman's dream while leaders drive away in bold ironies, trailed by folded factories. Stay here long enough and there's a real chance of getting stuck, stoned, and broken a pothole rut. A loony wolf, tricked into twiddling thumbs while a trapper comes instead of gnawing off its own foot. That's all I'm going to give you for that poem. So like, just cut it there.
Cool.
So how are you guys feeling? Yeah?
Yeah.
Without a sign, nobody knows who you are.
Oh shit, you're right. Let me take that away right now. My name is I am merely your humble narrator for tonight's poem. I am part of the writer's circle for the Creative Alliance. We meet here every Wednesday at 7 o'clock. We love this space, we love churches, we appreciate you guys having us out today. I'm going to do one more and then hand out to our first poet. If that's cool, say cool. Cool. This next one is called Bulldozer and His Bungalow.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I work with Jennie O'Reilly.
Girl, I want to rip into you like a demolition crew with a passion for the jobs. I want to film our smash session, dump the soundtrack with your giggles and tenderly lay to the room in porn. Babe, I want to be the bulldozer to your boarded up bungalow. I want to plow your love from ashes torched by careless assholes into your open basement. I want you to see yourself not as they have made you, but as a clearer sunset, non-existent and naked. A horizon line not yet redefined, but no longer dwelling on your flaws or feeling like a wasteland. I want to be the one who takes you off the grid. I want to sweep you off the beat. I know you think your heart has been stolen by metal thieves mining through the drywall, but babe, I'm not here looking for your bottle. I'm here to make a compliment to sheets. I'll haul out the debris of your esteem by hand if I have to, thrust truckloads of soil in its place, exhaling diesel breath heat. So that soon we can swoon, having had our fill. Sawed and straw, strewn like tidal waves to wash away a past life's pain, and help you rest in peace, somewhat whole again, instead of forever forsaken, condemned by your self-defeating, soul-destructive loneliness.
Yeah.
All right, please help me welcome our first poet for the night. Give it up.
Thank you, Dan.
Give it up for Drew Nelson.
Yay, Drew!
I recently moved to Florida, and I even more recently moved back. And I wrote this while I was wandering around Florida in a coffee shop. And I was actually kind of thinking of this place because this is the first building that I ever played a show in. Back 14 years ago, I think, when it was Good Beans Cafe or some shit. And I don't know, I had this thing about home, and this is what I wrote. Coffee, dark roast. Over here the chatter. This place I found is far, reminds and draws my soul, like water towards roots. I know not of when this water will return to soil of home, but my heart continues to grow with the plants and love in the soil of the garden shared by our lovers and our friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all for now.
All right. Give it up for Drew. I mean, all right, Drew. That's one more than anyone else so far, right? I'm gonna do a couple more, do some time gap stuff here. Is that cool?
Very cool.
Very cool.
The coolest.
Great. I'm gonna do one about. It's another like it's called Get Over Growth. You've mistaken my aimless wanderings for plain exploration through the curvy avenues of your body. An explorer's wanderlust where I've carelessly caressed the gold clasps of your thighs, thrown bricks through cathedral eyes, and flicked up wishing whispers like stray matches in your ears to light the way in hope that you would never feel used. But you do feel confused. And worry has been driven into dead-end streets across your face when all I'm looking for is a quick place to survive the smoldering fame if my body turns to ash. Now you told me to be at home in you. And your asphalt makeup paved over gritty dirt road paths, but it wasn't enough to keep my teenage feet from walking in greener grass. You may think I turned your subdivided youth into a student ghetto, but that wasn't my intention. And although my drifting through your city limits was brief, I've dragged my name in dreams through what's meant and spent precious time for a path down your spine, protecting your broken heart to mine like an ugly scar as a part of you I'm permanent. Alright, how you guys doing? Yeah, glad you can make it. Just so you know, we got this open mic list right here. We're looking for people that want to perform. We appreciate first timers more than anything else. But I'll just do one more. We'll lead it off for the next poet, who I think has a little bit also to tell you guys about what the writer circle is and what they do. Is that cool?
Yeah.
And before I forget, I also want to say Justin Faber in the back of the red hoodie is selling CA merchandise, including calendars, with both collaborative paintings done by members and people that come to open mics and poetry. And then he's also got a book of Voices For, which is a collaborative painting poetry event we have every year for a team of artists. So those are available in the back of Justin. Check that out. This next one is called Burn It All. It's a statement to arsonists. Go ahead and burn it all. But count on nothing being changed but the ugly peeling paint and columns of smoke, replacing pillared skyline shade. Everything seems more hopeless as arson artists chisel out a brand new mess from anger and unhappiness with molten memos filling demolition lists. Hate mail, self-addressed, sign of the gasoline kiss. If raised sane, ashamed of flaming inheritance, that of the sordid heroes, founders of today, all the same, breaking all our basket eggs into brownfield stains and live grenades. No master plan in 50 years, but we're still all slaves while freedom flees play rat race cage. A brick tides crashing waves drawn hopes of rehab pace, everything's washed away with truth and rage. So frustrated people set ablaze to pray to escape. Swallowing pride with deep-seated hate, this circus city's clowns joke around with money and lie until it's lost. Wasting time, I'll run down cogs in a 3-ring broken watch. Lately, though, I've come to blame idealized fame in the city stripped of wits by whips and encouragement to drop out wasted bridge card slips. As descendants of factory fodder, we inherit mounds of shit, and at most, forgetfulness. Defeatists dealing with decades of loser rants and paid-off silences. But our future's not in flames, or at least not yet. Outsourcing's aim was to discredit social gains and pile people with debt. Now there are two prevailing camps of thought for living here today. Either singe away sarcoma homes, no in their place, and nothing better will ever grow. Give up. Burn a blunt and don't worry about changing what you never cared to really now know. This town is like a dentist office. In gummy curbs, households where homes were pulled to save box-toothed blocks and smiling lanes from roof decay and rotting away. Any second when you choose to change the game and refuse to play firebomb monopolies or pop off mad trouble. But fly city would better tear itself down for room to breathe or live some dumb fantasy and preserve its rich history of rubble. Please help me welcome up the next poet. Give it up for Ryan Bellows. Yeah.
Thanks. How you guys all doing tonight, man?
Excellent.
So, yeah, well, there's this writer's circle, you see. We've been meeting every Thursday. We've been doing this for since 2005 or whatever. We just meet and share writing and kind of better each other as writers and what have you. Lately, we really haven't had a lot of attendance, so we might kind of put it on hiatus here this winter or whatever. Anyway, I thought I'd tell you that what we're playing, what the status of the writer's circle is. It's going to be going on a break here soon, probably until I find a group of writers that want to meet every week or whatever. So if you want to stop out, Mike, or something like that, stop in the next few weeks because we might take a break. What's that? Oh shoot, I'm sorry. See, I'm really terrible at public speaking and all that kind of stuff. There was a short time in my life where I thought I was kind of good at it, but really, that wore off when I was younger, I think. It meets at 7 o'clock on Thursdays, the Writer's Circle does, or whatever. So we just come share writing with each other and whatever. Alright, so I'm going to read you a couple of these little poems here.
Yeah.
Here's one I wrote the other day at the Writer's Circle. Nothing is ever exactly as it should be, or what we think it should be. In its place are challenges you must overcome to reach that place of contentment. Nothing is instantaneous. It's all a process of sorting things into their place, making adjustments based on what presents itself. You have to raise your consciousness about the matters that surround things. All things are relevant. Make appropriate concessions for the way things are. Try to make yourself comfortable. But remember always that nothing will ever be exactly how it should be. It's like a sad love poem. I don't know if you guys want to hear that one.
Yes.
My loving moments, the ones that echo through me in moments of passing romance, are a profound happening that affect me consequently. Momentary thoughts of delusion, images in my mind of extended togetherness, patterns of relevant companionship which I anticipate in the days that follow, only an illusion that fills my mind, my heart full of love's embrace. Sometimes these moments are gone without a trace, with nothing there to replace the feelings of togetherness, intimate entanglements displaced for the moment. I wonder what this feeling is, what it is that fills you when love leaves you again. This one's a little somber also, but turning to face the shadows, I take a breath of air, and what I see are memories, moments casting darkness on the things I find behind me. Twisted misconceptions of what was led to erroneous interventions which shackled me to passing moments which would have remained just that. Instead, these shadows reside in my past, dark places which once consumed me. Why do I turn to face them rather than let them go? I suppose I'm occupied with the new things I know. Things I never wanted to understand are tattooed on me like a brand. So I turn to face the shadows, hoping for some kind of resolve. Thank you. Alright, I got one more I'll read. This one is about writing. My friend Melanie that I met at the Writer's Circle came a few weeks ago and brought her little 6-year-old daughter Brenna along. So I wrote her this poem so she'd kind of like understand writing a little bit better or whatever. It's called Passengers. I choose words to describe things. I examine them to take in their meaning, and then I describe them as accurately as I can. The trick is to paint a picture in the reader's mind of what it is in your writer's vision. Take them on an adventure, show it to them in a way they've never seen. Words are tiny building blocks that build bigger building blocks, that construct structures which convey ideas in sentences and paragraphs. You can build villages of description, put things in other worlds, get them into different situations. You're a captain on a ship of words at sea. Where would you like to take the passengers? Thanks, man. Thanks for all coming out.
All right, give it up for Ryan one more time.
Yeah.
Captain Ryan Bellows. Again, I just want to thank everybody for coming out. We still got this open mic list, and there's a lot of blank space. So, yes, sir. Yes. You are the coolest so far of your friends. I'm going to do one more. We're getting close to that time when Aaron's going to play for us. Moench. Cool? This is the newest one, so we'll see if I have it all memorized. It's called Vortex Club. There's 3 expressways in with no way out. One way through, easily confused with bricks and booze. Barely a city first and bankrupt and underused. Predictably, we as citizens, though few, feel toxic and abused as ugly factory blues paint the news with blood, blight, and burnt down schools. Appealing like roadkill to the flighty New York culture vultures of cool who call struggle quaint and pick at bones like fools. But the hometown artist is honor-bound to defend his views even from its suicidal self. And I refuse to let this refuge for fellow refuse, otherwise known as hell, be scrapped and collapsed by the bulldozer agendas of explorers with wealth. More demolitions every day, but no one needs a commune of gated condos to replace the vacancy. Or another exclusive event too expensive for locals to attend while decision makers parcel out parents' land like a course of fillets. So easy to parking lot away great centurion trees and obvious opportunities. So hard to remember the prosperous city. All that's left are old curb breaks, empty union halls, and Alzheimer's elderly. Cultivating our own leaders starts with the simple seeds of constitutional literacy, because the right to bear arms is always second to the #1 priority. That's respect for others' diversity, and those in the know them till now. This country has been aimed like a plane on a tragic trajectory, an epic untold, and a people polluted with propaganda imagery. Now is the time to re-educate ourselves on what it means to have a sense of humanity and stand up, manifest your destiny, or something. Next poem hit the stage. Does shows Groovy Tuesdays at the Loft. Check him out on Tuesday nights. It's here every single Saturday in this room doing free stuff for all you guys. Help you welcome gladly and warmly our DJ, Michael A. Sure.
How much do I owe you for
I'll send you a bill later.
Okay. I'm taller than everybody. Okay. Move closer to you because I feel like we should share this moment. I'm going to turn it down a little bit because my voice is louder. As you may find out, I took several years of theater training so I can project from the diaphragm. I can speak to the back seats! Can you hear
think so.
Was that you? Lying gasping on its back, no cleaner for the rain that pounded it methodically like a professional, the goddamn heat lifts for a moment, and the inhabitants squirm in their sleep. Did you hear the thunder? She whispers to the man beside her. His motorist snoring cuts off as if a switch was thrown somewhere, but he just turns over, and a pistol fires somewhere, or was it a firecracker? She prefers to think it was a firecracker. Nothing will wake him, and she cannot sleep.
Yeah.
Literally, yes, literally a connection. Sharing moisture, heat, movement that is at its best a kind of improvisation, motion, jazz. The most sensitive parts of the body linked together. And at both ends it feels like you're plugged into some kind of primal power source, part of a circuit, breathing, synchronizing in a dance of tongue and teeth and lips, sinuous and all raw emotion, breathing life into each other in sweet, low breaths. And for a short time, that space between your faces is the center of the universe. That's the traditional epic poem end. I'll do this. That's a pro tip from a guy who's been doing this for a while.
Tough crowd.
Oh, you got no respect. Should do my poems in that voice instead of like the traditional poem voice. That'd be good. I spilled my water on thirsty sand so many lonely footsteps ago. And you received from my feverish view, rippling like a silver sail in the heat. A mirage that I swore that I touched once, twice, again, but your image got away while my eyes were closed, leaving nothing but the dream. The border of my personal universe has been drawn back like a pond, shrunk by a dry summer, and that sunlight falling on the street outside is just a dream I'm having now. I love this poem because it actually happened, and that makes it all the more awesome. It's just a little snapshot, just a tiny little poem about a moment that almost happened. So there's this. I am inadvisably thrilled by the tentative touch of an intoxicated tongue, like the gentle brush of a butterfly's wing.
That was sensuous. Hell.
Sensuous? It was sensuous. Thank you. Thank you. I am distant from these thoughts of mine. They are pale, indistinct, echoing down empty hallways, signaling to me like distant semaphore. I cannot divine the meaning because I have forgotten the code. Secret codes, symptoms of thoughts, representations of ideas, collections and collations, and I'm drifting in and out of focus, slow, like the tides.
Yeah.
This is about as political as I ever get. This is called Land Love. Land/love. That's it. Yeah, it's a forward slash right there. You cannot own love any more than you can own land. You can pay someone for land. You can stake it out and claim it. You can guard it and fence it off, but the land will be there long after you are dust, and your children, and their children, and their children too, all are dust. Love, too, was here long before us, and will be there long after us. And all you and I can really do with land and love is thank God or Goddess or Great Spirit or whatever for every moment we get to spend there.
Yes.
Okay, and I'm just going to put it on shuffle. There we go. Just notice that sometimes I dance like a sports mascot that's been chugging Everclear. Some people are just pushy. Apparently some people in China who have never met me are unhappy with the size of my penis. Honestly, I don't want to knock down brick walls with it. It's good to learn Pig Latin because you learn so much about the roots of Pig French, Pig Spanish, and other Pig Romance languages. I can't remember what the heck I was dreaming about, but I felt all tense when I woke up. Maybe I was chasing rabbits. Are my ears still ringing from last night? Oh, hang on, that's the phone. I have some shame, I suppose. Not much, though, and what there is of it is kind of vestigial, you know, like an appendix. And my Catholic guilt is sort of an emotional phantom limb. I feel a pang occasionally, but there's really nothing there anymore. Body language experts agree that standing with your arms crossed in front of your chest prevents a closed-off posture and is negative human interaction. It's also making it rather difficult for me to stare at your boobies. All right. The voices in my head just talk to each other and leave me out. They're jerks. And isn't all sex casual sex, unless of course you're dressed in formal wear? Hey! And I'll leave you with this one. My fortune cookie at lunch yesterday said I would be enjoying a romantic encounter soon. It didn't say who with, though, so I'm understandably nervous. I just hope it's not in jail. Thank you.
Yeah! If you like that, you guys are going to love his awesome DJ skills, so stick around over here after you're doing a little guitar for us. We're right at the end of our list. I got 2 more performers, and then we're going to give it up, so please help me welcome up Flint Underground's own Jennie Moench.
Okay, first off, I want to mention that we have calendars and books from Voices if you're interested. We're selling them all for just $10 each.
Just $10.
Just $10.
$10?
The calendars
What
have
deal?
books and artwork from our other open mic that we have at the Good Means Cafe every 3rd Wednesday. And if you want to go to an open mic, it's a great one to go to too. Not only have poetry, there we have a lot of comedians. We had a juggler last time. We had musicians. So it's really it's a great open mic. It's a variety, more or less variety show. And that one's also filmed. Oh, and this is filmed. It goes on the Flint Underground website. And if you want to be on the Flint Underground website, make sure you sign that clipboard. And also, it's a good idea to, after you sign it, print your name. Because what I will do is put a caption under your picture with your name on it. And if I can't read it, then I'll just wing it. And if it's wrong, then it's wrong. So anyway, but I write longer stories like novels. I write novels, but nobody buys them. I just write them for my own entertainment. But the other day I was watching my dog, and so I just wrote this little story about my dog. So this is my story about my dog. He was a practical dog, usually not a slave to unwarranted vanities, yet he was humiliated by the length of his tail. Cut off at an embarrassing length by the vanity of an egotistical owner of his mother, probably jealous of her own lack of an additional appendage, she had the end of his spine permanently terminated into a hideous bar. Humans are so indifferent to the dignity of their fellow mammals. His job was to guard the perimeter, and he took it seriously. He strutted around the house, keeping a keen eye and nose out for invaders. Once satisfied, he took his usual spot at the base of a large oak hidden from the sidewalk. Yet, by carefully peering around the stump, he had a clear view of anyone daring to tread across his sidewalk. He took pride in his stuff, crouched down behind the tree, and silently waited. Until he detected footsteps. But not the loud, clumsy kind of humans. These were softer, more like a scampering sound. He looked up and he glimpsed something running down the backside of the tree. Startled, he pricked up his ears and he gaped at the creature with an indifferent stare as it ran at full speed across the yard without regard to his furious sentinel that he was. This was annoying. It was an outrage. He looked up to the bushy-tailed varmint and decided that he wanted to bite its tail. He wanted to put its paw in the middle of its back and look it straight in the eyes so that it would know that he existed. He moved slowly towards it as it stopped to nibble at something. Violet moved behind it, ready to pounce. When the thing perked up its head and ran for cover, our hero gave chase through the hedges and cornered it against the chimney. Then it stopped, raised up on its hind legs and began with an awful chatter. It was a high-pitched, terrible noise that would have frightened the Great Dane. He wanted to retreat, but then he was struck by a new worry that if he turned around, the squirrel might get a glimpse of his malformed tail. An even worse thought, from the squirrel's vantage point, he might even be able to see past the tail and get a view of his missing balls. Yet another abuse of power inflicted on him by humans, so vindictive. Just because they lack the talent to lick their own balls, well, they make sure their best friend can't either. Just then the squirrel lunged out at him, catched his front paw. He felt a sharp pain that made him yelp. Then the thing ran away. He looked down at his paw as a pink crescent shape was gradually turning to blood red. That vagrant yard vermin had bit him. A flood of panic, then helplessness temporarily washed away his virile pride. He felt the need to show his owner. She would know what to do. She would pet him and dress his wound. He walked carefully to the back door, giving it a pitiful scratch with his one good paw, and then for good measure began a sorrowful whine, folding his injured paw in a pathetic way. He anticipated her tender caress. In fact, he thought there may even be a biscuit in it for him.
Yeah!
Alright, we got our last poet of the night. Before he does that, though, I'm going to make him stand there for a second really awkwardly and do a 4-line poem. Guys ready for a 4-line poem? It's called for When a Girl Goes Crazy on Your Ass.
Okay, yeah.
I know you still love me. Maybe knowing that makes me an asshole. Today I thought you were dead, and that part of me that still cared, well, that died too. Thank you. Alright. Keep that applause going, give it up for Raraver.
Good evening. You write things that aren't supposed to be seen, and then you walk past a poetry slam and you get in on it. So, here we go. Alright. If our two souls don't work together, then why do we hurt so much? My body's numb, and I don't want to be going home. I want to be anywhere with you. Monotony rules my life, and if I'm monochromatic, I want to be so with you. If tears were a weakness, they can drag my body away, and I couldn't put up a fight. Conversation is lacking. Why? Did I not give enough? Can I not give enough? Every time I'm sad, it seems to rain, as if I'm the one controlling the skies. I wouldn't mind if the sky collapsed on me, or if I collapsed on it. Just let me feel numb, not bored, not moving, and let the world happen to me. The ocean's a calming force, but it makes me miss you. This world is chaotic, but not when we're together. The laughter I cannot provide in verses in me, but the beauty was in the silence. It's not the ones that cry when they're hurt that I feel sorry for. It's the ones that don't. The ones that don't let their pain be shown. The ones so concerned with the image that they cannot imagine anything else. Open books may tell a lot of stories, but the closed ones tell more. The obvious pain they try so desperately to hide, I want to sink through this darkness and enjoy this low of lows. It feels good to be bad, and it feels right to be sad. And I hope that I can wallow forever. That would be easy. And easy is all I can process. Don't tell me to find another. Don't tell me to be happy. I'm not happy. I won't be happy. Let me enjoy the grief. There's most likely no relief, and I'm okay with that. I really am. I'm glad I'm alone.
We have one more poet just threw his hat in the ring, so I want you guys to give a very warm welcome to our last poet of the night. Give it up for Nathan Haskins. I tried to give you that like epic introduction, but you guys gotta fill those gaps there.
I have a million voices. This is my Bukowski voice. It's called That's Something. Neon lights and mirrors, mahogany wood, and sticky floors, heavy air, familiarity, and low lighting to hide my ugly mud. It all screams welcome home. It feels good to have a place to belong, even if no one knows your name. They know my poison though, and that's something. That's almost as good as a name. They all look at me strange with my pencil and paper, but that's okay. Weird will get you second looks, which is better than being glanced right over. And they come drink after drink, nice and strong, saying, welcome home. And that's something. The lady across the bar is making eye contact. We play the game, darted eyes bringing forth cessation, dancing, playing, yes, playing the game. She's not the best looking of broads, a rather plain Jane, but she's got those legs, the kind that start here and stretch forever. And that's something. It's not long before I'm really hurt. It's always been best for me to let them do the work. I don't give a shit about all the things she starts saying, bits and pieces of all of her troubles, the regular old quack job of a patient rolling up her sleeves to show me her scars. And really, when I have so many of my own packed and tucked away, how could I give a shit? So I just focus on those legs, those heavenly legs, and I nod my head and pretend to listen, and that's something. I don't like the way that man's looking at me, she says with a drunken accent. Oh yeah? Yeah, you gonna do something about it? I pull out my best Bogart. Excuse me. Sorry, babe, I can't help you there. Well, why not? Well, that man's twice my size. He'd beat the shit out of me. I'm not against a beating, but quite frankly, you're just not worth it. At least I was honest. That's something. I was golden now. She'd be set on proving just how worth it she was. And so in the long and short, we'd fuck. There'd be no love, just two people alone together, and that's something. She'd probably end up wanting to save me. They always do. But it's a little too late for that. Bigger have tried, better have tried, and now she was going to try. She failed, but still she tried, and that's something. So I'll fuck her. And maybe I'll even wait until morning to throw her out of my bed. She'll be tossed out the door to my fading words saying, sorry babe, thanks for the fuck, but you're just still not worth it. But I'll wait until the morning at least, and that's something, isn't it?
Yeah. Alright, I think this is going to conclude the poetry part of our show tonight. You guys have fun? You enjoy it?
Yeah.
Well, if you had a lot of fun, come on back. We're doing this February 2nd. That's the first Saturday in February, 2 months from today. I'll be here. Our awesome DJ will be here. I hope you guys will be here. Just give it up. We're going to have Aaron McCormick up here in a second. He's going to start setting up. So, thanks for coming up.